All right, this is page 8 on your review. It's a set and a reset, but it's not an R bar, S bar. These things set and reset with ones. And then there's a data channel on this, so it'll follow the data channel. But it follows the data channel when there is a negative edge on the clock. So I did kind of a lousy job with starting this with a set or a reset, so I really don't even know what this is until the first negative edge. So along the first negative edge, here it comes. The first negative edge says set is low, reset is low, so I can't get any values from these because these aren't S bar, R bars. They set on positive conditions or high conditions. So the first thing I'll get is a data of 1, and that'll set my clock pulse up to 1 at this point. My channel here looks a little wide, but anyway, whatever it was to begin with, it's definitely 1 now. Then we walk across here to the next negative clock edge. Set is low, reset is low. That's a hold condition on that. However, it will look at the data, and the data says it's high at this point, so it'll continue to be high at that point. Okay? Now, I went a little bit too far with this because I do have a set and reset, and that set and reset is asynchronous. So this is now hitting this place right here where reset tells it to go to 0, so it goes to 0. It doesn't follow the data channel, it follows the reset condition. And it does it immediately, it doesn't wait for the clock pulse. It's an asynchronous pulse. So we go across here, and the next thing we see before this negative edge pulse is that it gets a set condition. So right at this point, it doesn't follow D, it follows the set condition, and that makes it go high. So I guess I'll eliminate a piece of that. But it makes it go high at the point where these things come together with the asynchronous set. So we go across here, the set dies off, the reset dies off. So at the next negative clock pulse, which is here, we begin to see a change, because as you go across here, set is 0, reset is 0, that's a hold condition, so it will read D, and when it reads D, it's going to read that D is low, so at the negative edge, it will go low. Okay? Then we'll go across here, wait for the next negative clock position, and that looks like D is high this time. So as we go over to this next one, right, this negative clock position, this is going to go high. All right? As we continue to go across here, we're going to look for the negative clock position, but it looks like the next thing I hit is an active reset. So right at this point, before I even get to the clocking device, I get an active reset that sends this low. Okay? So the negative clock pulse comes across here, and that could change things, but after all, the data line is low at this point too, so it'll continue to go across here. So it's probably set low here and continues across here with that data being low. All right, so this is we're still on the reset all the way through this, so there's no reason to consider anything else until we get to the negative clock pulse. The next negative clock pulse is right about that high data, so if that happens, then it goes high at this point. And as we go across here, the next negative pulse is right at the asynchronous set position. That would set it high anyway. So even if this was not there, the data was high, the set is high, there's everything that says this thing is going to remain high. So it remains high all the way across. So there's my waveform following the sets, the resets, and the data line wherever appropriate. I don't have a good starting position at the front, but we have a lot of information at the tail end.